Good morning, everybody. It is February 7th, 2022, and just some thoughts for today. I woke up this morning and I was thinking about what to talk about, and I was thinking about maybe talking about some longevity stuff, but we'll get into that. But I think what's happened is I'm going to talk about my tattoos. My tattoo across my chest is it says "Speak Out" in Italian, "Parlare chiaro," and on my back it says "Be heard." And I used to think that everybody has a right to say what they feel, and you shouldn't be silent if you believe in something. Now, as of today, there's something going on in my country's capital that I believe is very significant, and I want people to start um, thinking about what we have, what we hold dear, what's been happening, and the problems I have with what's going on right now is when it comes down to even Joe Rogan. Here's a guy who is very popular. He has, from what I've understood, he's never really wanted to be this phenom of a podcast. He just wanted to have some conversations with some pretty interesting people, and you know that sort of ties into the way things are going. And this is completely my opinion. I'm not trying to push anybody into any decisions. I encourage you to think for yourself, and something called critical thinking. That's like really, 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 really thinking about your thoughts, thinking about every detail of what's making you drive towards something. And it's so obvious now what's going on. And I have to be very careful because, I'm just starting out here and I don't want to upset any algorithms. But, you know, our grandparents fought for our freedoms and liberties. They fought tyranny. And that holds weight. I went for a trip with about 7 of my friends to France and Belgium, and we went to the Canadian, to Vimy Ridge, and to some grave sites of the First World War and the Second World War. And we all started out as a road trip, yay, high fiving, like it's gonna be awesome. We're in France and stuff. And by the first visit to one of the wartime cemeteries, we were in tears. It crushed us, and it put a lot of things in perspective. And if you've never given a thought about Remembrance Day or what these people sacrificed for us, that's tragic. And I was there. Vimy Ridge is dedicated to Canadian. It's Canadian soil in France for a battle that the Canadians held. That there's arguments to say about it, like it changed the tide of the war. I'm proud of that. I'm proud to be Canadian. When I saw that, when I read that monument and what our forefathers sacrificed for us, it meant a lot. Now, freedom of speech, shouldn't that say it right there? We don't all have to agree. But just because you don't agree with something doesn't mean you have to be silenced. And you can't, we all know what blame shifting is. You can't, just because you don't agree with something, because you hold the power, make them not be able to express. Now, we've been seeing this for the last couple of years. There is very, very significant, creditable professors, doctors, academics that have had different opinions about how we've managed this whole situation. We cannot just discredit them because it's not what, because it's against what's going on. These are people that have been touted as leading in their fields. All of a sudden, one day, they're not creditable enough to listen to. And we're talking about virologists, immunologists, epidemiologists, doctors, lawyers, ethics professors. And people that are speaking out should have their time. We can't just discredit them because it's not what you think is right, or we've been told that they're wrong. All of a sudden, these people that are their whole life is dedicated to finding these things out, and now all of a sudden they're wrong. And I'm going to take my personal experience. I have been doing studies and researching this stuff for myself, and it comes down to nutrition and diet, where you have a lot of camps. You have like these people that are paleo, keto, plant-based, animal-based, carnivore, blah, 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 blah. Yes, sure. But everybody has the right to figure it out. And you can hold bias, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't hear the other side. And they might have some valid points. You might learn something. But this is a time we have to come together. This is a time that you have to really, really look at what is at play here. And if you do not start standing up for yourself, whichever way you feel, stand up, but back it. Do diligence. Look at the picture that's happening right now. And I question this. If you don't know about something, we have information out there. But it can't be just discredited because it doesn't suit what's going on. That's against everything that our grandfathers, our grandparents fought for. Now, I think, to be brutally honest, if this isn't screaming we should have an election right now, I don't know what is. And you can't, just because you don't agree or don't like something, you can't just discredit the other side. That's not what this is about. Science is about questions. Science is about trying to prove something else. Taking a hypothesis, question, and finding out if it holds weight or valid. And you can't just automatically discredit somebody because they have been part of this scientific method for their entire career, and now all of a sudden, because it doesn't suit or they want to be hushed, they don't get their chance to say it. I believe everybody's scared. Everybody has, and we've been pushed towards this way of thinking where we're not thinking. And I encourage you to think. If you feel something wrong, find out all sides, then make a decision on where you stand. But don't just blindly put your faith into something that's been told when it's obvious there's another side. There's other people that are very, very intelligent warning us. Just give them a chance. Now, we have radicals and we have people that ruin it for both sides. But this is the time to really think about where you stand and for what it is. Take away the subject and look at what's happening. Is it about what they're telling us it is? Or look at what's happening, especially in my country, to people that are trying to voice their opinions. They're trying to voice their right and their freedom. And that's not a bad thing. You don't have to support their cause, but you do have to support the reason why they're doing it. And you can't just slander somebody because you don't agree with them. In the United States, they have the First Amendment. In Canada, we have the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. We are supposed to be a free country. Look what's happening around us. It's time to unite. And I'm calling all Canadians just to think, just to take a step back, think about what is going on. And when there's agendas and financial driven things, power, think about these things. Because I want an election. That's my opinion. That's my right to say that I'm a citizen of this country paying taxes and I want an election. And I'll tell you, if people are speaking out and they're not being heard, there's a big problem. Now, you know what I've heard about their money being taken away? It's atrocious. You can't just switch the rules because it doesn't suit your own narrative. That's appalling. Whether you agree with me or not, imagine if you felt something strongly and you asked people to help you, donated their own financial money to that cause for you, and then somebody just decided that that was wrong and pulled it away. Well, what the hell was this GoFundMe platform made for? GoFundMe is a bridge. They are not the law. And now the powers that be decide to tell them to take that away. Why were they even there in the first place? Why was that bridge built? This goes against everything that those crowdfunding platforms stand for. You might not agree with what's going on. That's okay. But you have to look at why it's happening. And that's all I'm going to say today. You know, I'm sorry I had to bring this up, but I think this affects each and every one of us, and we have to start thinking very seriously. Because things need to change. And I want to empower you to make a decision for yourself. For you, not for someone else, or because someone else told you to. Not one time has our government mentioned get healthy, protect yourself, vitamin D. Not one time have they said get out and move more. What the risk factors are, they have said. But how to fix them, they have not. Not one time have I heard our health minister say, you need to get healthy. You need to get out there, be stronger, be better. Protect yourself. Not one time. You don't have to agree. That's my opinion. And I'm sorry for enforcing my will. But share this with somebody because we have to start thinking. And I really hope you have a good day and enjoy the sunshine. I'm going to get out there and get some sunshine on my eyeballs. And be strong. Stay strong, Canada and the world. We need to come together. Doesn't matter what you think. We're here. Take it easy.